Rod and Megan, I'm here with mayoral candidate Cindy Lamb here at Suite 111 where her watch party is being held. I spoke with the manager at Jet Splash earlier tonight. He says it was fortunate that they actually close on 5 p.m. on Sundays, so everyone was able to make it out, but it was a scary situation nonetheless. Jet Splash Car Wash off of Pioneers Boulevard and South 10th Street was hit hard.
That was scary. It was really scary.
As you can see, the roof blew off and ended up in the road, causing a roadblock. As you can see behind me, the damage to the building was pretty significant. It's a little bit too early to tell how much it's going to cost. And again, it was very fortunate that no one was inside the building when this incident occurred. Now, what they believe happened is that this young girl was playing along the creek on that root canal system, and she actually slipped and fell into the creek where she became unconscious. Rod and Megan, about 10 feet behind me is where C&L Dairy Suite stood for over 40 years. Last night at about 6 p.m., 4 workers had to take cover in a nearby cellar as the building was completely destroyed. Today, cleanup efforts have begun. The National Weather Service says a tornado touched down in West Lincoln Sunday evening. 4 employees of local business C&L Dairy Suite were on the clock when things took a turn for the worst.
I ran down there and I said, "Get the girls, sirens, we gotta go."
Tiffany Blackwell helped to get the workers out, including her mother, who was hesitant to leave.
She's like, "I have this cheeseburger for this guy," and I was like, "Forget the cheeseburger, we gotta go."
The women were forced to run to a nearby house cellar about 100 feet away.
By the time we got up and we were running to the cellar, we saw some, they're just like balloons circling like right in front of the house, and you could feel the pressure and everything change, and then we got in the cellar and had to hold the door down so it didn't fly open.
They were crammed inside, holding the door shut as the tornado ripped through.
It probably literally was 2 minutes, maybe 3, but it felt like forever.
After it was all over, Tiffany's mother took a peek outside to see the damage done.
Mom said the garage is gone, the storage shed's gone, and got out a little bit further and she said Dairy Suite's gone too, and I was just thinking like a roof or some kind of damage, and I didn't think gone.
Store manager Cassie says they're thankful that Tiffany heard the sirens because the workers couldn't.
But the machines and everything in there are so loud and none of the girls heard it. I mean, it could have been a huge family tragedy for everybody.
Workers say the building's roof was on the bottom of the debris pile and the floor was on top, meaning the tornado picked up the dairy store and rotated it upside down before dropping it. Workers with C&L say hundreds of people have been reaching out, giving their support. They say right now the focus is on cleaning up the mess. Moving forward, an official GoFundMe page will get started, and you can find it on their Facebook page.
We're just very thankful and lucky. I mean, there's just no words to describe it. I mean, it's horrible to see our family-owned business and the thing that my grandma worked so hard to build, you know, all of her life, and just to see it gone in a blink of an eye.
Lincoln man Garrett Elting is ready to show the world what he can do. Elting is a former Marine. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan. When he came back home, he says he needed something to occupy his hands. So he enlisted the help of a close family member.
I got home and I asked my dad, I said, "Hey, you know, do you want to try making some knives with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Together, the Eltings started Steel Pig Forge back in 2014. It started out as a hobby until people started asking if the knives were for sale.
It started out as something fun to do that me and Dad could get in the shop and get our hands dirty and then come out with something tangible when you were done. So that was fantastic. And then, you know, as we progressed, we got better and people were like, "Hey, we want to buy these." You know, then we realized that there might be a market out there for custom-made knives here in Lincoln.
Elting says he's been a fan of the History Channel's show Forged in Fire since it started. When he was asked to be a contestant in a military-themed episode, he says he couldn't refuse. Officials say the event helps to reel in consumers from all over the Midwest. One of the many attractions available here, the Troutstock Pond, is run by Eugene Strader, who specializes in helping kids catch their first fish. Every year on the last Saturday of January, thousands of people from all around Nebraska gather here in the small town of Avoca, Nebraska for a very special event, to watch and compete in live duck races.
We start out as a town of about 194 people, and we grow to well over 4,500 in one day.
Katrina, patients at Lincoln's Madonna Rehabilitation Hospital were greeted by some visitors from a galaxy far, far away.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for stopping by.
You bet.
Nice to meet you, Lisa.
On Saturday, members of the Midwest Star Wars Legion surprised patients at Lincoln's Madonna Rehabilitation Hospital. A committee called Nebraskans for Sensible Marijuana Laws led the charge. The group is represented by State Senators Anna Wishart and Adam Moorfeld. They officially filed a constitutional ballot initiative to get the ball rolling for the 2020 election. The county has 4 salt domes they keep product in. Each one, when at full size, contains more than 550 tons of salt.
1, 2, 3. All right, congratulations.
The potential uses for the Lincoln Sports Complex are endless. Team practices, games, and even local and regional tournaments. Reporting in Lincoln, Zach Worthington, Channel 8 Eyewitness News. At a press conference today, officials said city crews have been able to make it to every residential street at least once. But some of them, as you can see here, are still difficult to navigate. This was the scene in Lincoln Saturday afternoon as a group of vans carrying homeless animals made it into town. The volunteer drivers left at 5 a.m. this morning and didn't get back to Lincoln until just after 3. The bulk of the advocates here today are caregivers. They hope to pass legislation that would benefit them. Reporting in Lincoln, Zach Worthington, Channel 8 Eyewitness News. Today was Championship Saturday in Lincoln. Pinnacle Bank Arena was the place to be as thousands came to cheer on the hometown team, Lincoln Pius X, as they look to capture their first state championship since 2004. The town of Crete woke up to rising floodwaters this morning. It was so bad in parts that residents in select neighborhoods were asked to relocate. At Crete's own Aqua Plumbing and Heating, the scene was surreal. As you can see, waist-deep water has made its way closer and closer into town. It all comes from the Big Blue River, which is running as high as it ever has in Crete's history. It didn't take long for Nebraska Athletic Director Bill Moose to find his man. It was long rumored and finally confirmed today that Fred Hoiberg will be the next basketball coach for the Huskers program. I spoke with some fans today to gauge their excitement level for Big Red Hoops moving forward.
We're going to go dancing. We are going to go dancing, dancing, dancing every year. Every year's expectation, and I don't think that's too much.
Athletic Director Bill Moose said he wants to see the Huskers basketball program elevate to those levels of success, and he believes that Hoiberg will be the man to do it. Reporting in Lincoln, Zach Worthington, Channel 8 Eyewitness News. Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Slam. We are going to have more live coverage of this election tonight coming up at 10 o'clock, so stick around for all that good stuff. Until then, back to you, Rada Megan. Supporters of a bill that would legalize medical marijuana in Nebraska say they are pleased today with the decision to advance the bill to the debate floor next week, but they understand that there's a lot of work ahead. And the entire Lincoln community is encouraged to come out and participate in today's friendly competition. It's a beautiful day outside to be donating blood for a good cause. This was the scene at the Independence House in North Lincoln on Sunday. As part of a special event, around 60 residents and their families got to enjoy some authentic prom festivities.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful day it is for all of us.
We stand up today for all Nebraskans and declare that reproductive justice is a basic human right.
This was the scene Tuesday at the state capitol building. Hundreds of pro-choice supporters came from around the state. Kathy Fox drove from Omaha to attend the rally. She says women's reproductive rights and access to health care is very important to her.
All of the changes that have been happening in states across our country have made me nervous for myself and for my fellow females, and I want to make sure that I'm using my voice and my privilege.
I spoke with the manager at Jet Splash earlier tonight. He says it was fortunate that they actually closed on 5 p.m. on Sundays, so everyone was able to make it out, but it was a scary situation nonetheless.